Hey there, my name is Rochelle, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. I don't actually, surprise, do much on YouTube. I've wanted to, just haven't got there yet, so we'll see if this is the way my channel's gonna go. So, a little bit about me. I am 26 years old. I have a beautiful daughter who may or may not show up on this channel at some point. We'll see. You're gonna hear her right now because she's sitting over here eating her lunch. Well, yeah, you. We'll see what happens with that. But today we're going to be talking about writing. I have been writing since I was 9 years old. I have several stories and books and things that I've written, none of which are published yet, but we're hoping with this one we'll change that, which is why we are recording this, for, if nothing else, to get me to follow through and publish it. Yes, baby. So, like I said, I've been writing since I was 9 years old. Most of that is not great because I was 9 years old, but that's okay. When I was a junior in high school, I started writing more seriously, and here we are now. So, when I had my daughter, I kind of stopped writing a little bit, more or less, because she takes up a lot of my time, which is fine. She's great. But as a mom to a baby, she's 9 months old, so she's still pretty little. Finding the time to write is difficult. So that is the very first thing I would say, is make time to write. My husband's gone 8 hours a day, almost every single day, sometimes up to 10, just depends on what's going on at work. And it's not up to him to find me time to write. It is not up to Bill down the street to find me time to write. It's up to me. I have to be held accountable. I have to hold myself accountable to find time to write. And yes, as a mom, that is hard because you never know what your kid's gonna do. Usually my daughter sleeps 7 to 7, and usually she takes 2 naps during the day. Today she's taken 1 nap, and was about half the time that it normally is. So sometimes she does what she's going to do, and I just have to go with it. Usually during her nap times, during her first nap, I will clean up the house and get things back to where they're supposed to be after she's played in the morning. And then during her second nap, I get preparations for dinner and everything ready, depending on if my husband's at work. If my husband works in the morning, then I have both of her naps. I have time to clean the house and to make sure things are ready for him when he gets home for dinner and things like that. Otherwise, if he works in the evening, which he does tonight, he's home for her first nap, so we kind of just hang out, just the two of us, because he gets home late enough that it's pretty much time. We're just gonna go to bed when he gets home usually. So usually during the day, her first nap, we'll just hang out together and just hang out, the two of us. And then during her second nap, I am cleaning the house and getting things ready. So it just kind of depends. But after she goes to bed at 7, if my husband's home, he will give me a couple hours to write. If he's not home, she's asleep, so I can write anyway. But being accountable and finding that time to write is the #1 step to getting things done and getting things together. And that is the one thing that I struggle with, and I am working on doing that more regularly. So that would be step #1. Step #2, coming up with ideas, brainstorming, if you will. Ideas don't come to me like, oh, I'm gonna sit down for an hour and brainstorm about this book, and by the time I'm done with this hour, I'm gonna have an entire idea for a book. No, that might be how it works for some people, but that is definitely not how it works for me. A lot of the time, I will have my phone next to me. Right now it's not, because it's on the charger, because I've been doing stuff with it all day. But if I come up with a book idea, I jot it down. I put it in the notes section in my phone. I write it. I have a notebook with me. I'll write it down, or my laptop, or some way I will find a way to write it down, because if I don't, I'll forget it, and then it's just gone. Even if I tell myself, don't forget this idea, it's just gone. A lot of my ideas come to me when I'm asleep, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll write it down, or I'll put it in my phone, or whatever I need to do. The idea for the book that I'm writing right now, part of it, actually both parts, mostly the first part, came from when I was asleep. And so my husband will often wake up in the middle of the night, and I will have my phone out and I'll be typing away on my memo pad. So that is something that I would suggest. Always have a notebook with you. I keep a notebook. I have about 100 notebooks. Every time I ask my husband for my notebook, I'm like, oh no, not that notebook, a different notebook. But anyways, I keep one in my diaper bag. I keep one in my purse. I keep one next to my bed. They're all over the place. Just in case I have an idea that I want to write down, I have it and I write it down quick, and it's there, it's solid, and I can refer back to it if I need to. Okay, so that is number 2. Number 3, a writing mentor. Now this is something that's a little bit difficult. I've been writing forever, pretty much, and I have never had one until this past couple months ago, actually. This is hard, but it is what it is. I got lucky in the fact that one of my favorite authors actually lives in the same town that I live in, and well, I was raised in. I don't live there anymore, but and I often read her books and all of that. So after reading her books for 9 years, I finally sucked it up and asked her if she would be my writing mentor, and she agreed, and it's been great. Every time I have a writing question, I message her on Facebook, or I go into her shop, or whatever I need to do, and she is always there 100% wanting to help me and all of that great stuff. So if you have the opportunity to ask someone to be your writing mentor, do it. It is the greatest thing ever to know that if I have questions, then I can just ask her. Like I asked her, it was a couple of days ago, I asked her about how long it takes her to write just the rough draft, not the edits, not the beta readers, not any of that, just the rough draft of her books. And she was right there answering me that fast. And it's great to have someone there in your corner. And yeah, I have my husband, and he's so super supportive, but he doesn't understand the life of a writer. So there's that. Oh, we might be getting another nap after all. We'll see. Number 4, writing groups on social media. So this is something that I go back and forth on. Getting into writing groups on social media. I'm on several. I am a part of several writing groups on Facebook right now, but they can be good and bad. I've made a couple of friends through these writing groups, and that's great. However, sometimes it's hard not to get discouraged by all these people saying, oh, I finished my rough draft. Oh, I'm publishing in a week. Oh, kind of thing. But you have to remember they all started out at the beginning. They all started out right where you are right now. So being in these groups can be a hindrance, or it can drive you to cross that finish line and get your book published. It also is nice because a lot of times they'll share their experiences with publishing and things like that. So yeah, my 5th tip right now is to have daily, weekly, and monthly goals for yourself. Those are 3 very important things, is to have goals for yourself. For those, someone's clapping. She agrees that it's time for goals. Are you all done? Is that what you're telling me? Okay, hold on just a minute. To have goals for yourself daily. My goal for myself daily is to get 3,000 to 5,000 words done, at least 1 chapter. And yeah, these chapters are going to be fluffed up later. That's okay. Weekly, I'm working on my weekly goal. I haven't decided what exactly it is going to be, but probably around 30,000 words. That sounds like a lot. But if you times 5 times 7, no. So, and then monthly and so forth. So here is my goal. I'm gonna try to get on twice a week and give you guys an update. Twice a week. Give you guys tips, give you guys things like that. My goal is I can't remember exactly how far I am into my new book, about 5 chapters or so in. So here's my goal. By my daughter's birthday, which is September 1st, I want to have my rough draft completely finished. Completely done. Over. Rough draft done. Rough draft 1. Okay? That is my goal. And I'm going to post videos twice a week. Probably I'll kind of decide what days it's going to be as we go on, but I'll be posting twice a week in hopes that we get published. And I'm not saying when I'm doing that yet, because that's a lot to say in a short amount of time, but rough draft done September 1st. You guys can help me hold myself accountable. Well, that's it for me today. Just a reminder, goals, writing groups, mentor, ideas. I do remember what the first one was. Brainstorming was that also. And I don't remember what the first one was. This is why you should be writing things down. The number one was to make time to write. Don't forget, make time to write every day. We'll see you guys next time. Hopefully that'll be soon. Bye guys.